Sports Daily Special Edition right here on a Tuesday, where you expect your GPL headquarters to be bringing you Sports Daily exclusively, where we'll be sending you straight to the Minister's office, where the newly appointed Minister for Sports and Recreation, Mr. Honorable Kofi E.D. Adams, will be getting our man Ampofo Ankrah, the lead of sports right here at IMAX. We're sending them looking at updates. What the GFA this morning in Kumasi, they went to Kumasi to meet Ankrah and the supporters chapter of the circles of Kumasi Asante Kotoko on Pooley, the young man who lost his life when he was stabbed. And we'll bring you a special documentary which will also be premiered on Wednesday. So you stay up for all the updates. So on your screen is the special GFA meeting at Menshia there. You can see Nana Odro Safo, an ESCO member, GHALCA also represented, then an Ankrah, Coach Kwesi Appiah of Sudan, the Sudanese national team coach, once upon a time, the Black Stars coach, also there. So we'll send you to Kumasi, as well also send you to Honorable Kofi Adams' office, where exclusively Ampofo Ankrah and Nana Dakwa JC will be bringing you all the insight there. And don't forget, MTN FA Cup draw, the release is also out. We'll look at the parents, what is happening to Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko, and Hasafo. You can see on your screens Mo Shaban and the communication director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante Chum, Mr. Hart there, and Oluboy Commando, the CEO of Great Olympics, Oli Dade, Oli Agoswe, Oli. We are returning to the Premier League. Quick return from Great Olympics. I know Prince Hanan will touch on that when we get there. And also don't forget, both Ankrah and folk, Kumasi Asante Kotoko putting up a release and looking for some demands from the Ghana Football Association, because they believe they are the two most glamorous club or biggest clubs in Ghana. So this and many more we'll be taking a look at. But quickly, we'll start the journey with MTN FA Cup draw. So we send you and see the parents that are out there. And my Prince Anand will join me. So on our screen, round of 16, Brekum Chelsea, they play Northern City. Karela United, they come up against Young Apostles. Techiman, Liberty Youth, and Bechem United also squaring there. Asante Kotoko and Sakandi, 11 Wise, Ankrah Kacho, Mediama Sporting Club and Park Academy, another KG encounter. Golden Kick and Ankrah Folk at the Tuba, AstroTurf. It will be obvious. True Democracy, and they come up against Abedipelis Nania, and Atram Divise against Gold Stars, also at the Tuba AstroTurf. So these are the pairings for the MTN round of 16 matches coming up. Prince Anand, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Tony. Interesting pairings for the MTN FA Cup as we get closer and closer to the very last stages of the MTN FA Cup. This year has been on a very quiet, but of course the teams have kept their premise together and of course are trying to inch forward towards the next stages of the competition. Good to see rich rivalry between Premiership and Division 1 clubs, and it has almost always been the scenario for the MTN FA Cup, hence the motto or the cliche, Obia and Yobia. It could be anybody's game. And so for stalwarts like Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Accra Hearts of Oak, Mediama Sporting Club, BBNE Gold Stars, they will be in top contentious matches as the Division 1 clubs, the likes of Atram, Devise, True Academy, Golden Kick, of course, will also be sharing their exploits against their Premiership brothers. Northern Stars are also there as well.
So those are the fixtures there. And also, don't forget that following the Kumasi Asante Kotoko, it's a drama issue. But Prince, a quick one on the 16th stage. Now Kumasi Asante Kotoko bent of withdrawing from all GFA organized activity, and definitely the FA Cup falls under that jurisdiction. The FA today are in Kumasi to iron out the differences, which we see Kumasi Asante Kotoko decided if they are calling for justice now and a first-degree felony, according to the legal, some legal perspective. It will not be today, it will not be tomorrow. It will take some time for investigations to be carried on before Kotoko could be satisfied with, who were the real killers or who the real killer was, for Pooley during that sad event.
Yeah. Well, again, it's just unfortunate that we've had to see what we saw a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we all leave homes, tell our families that we're going to work or we're going to watch a game of football. We leave as human beings. Some have to return as corpses or as dead bodies. I mean, it is a far outcry from what a lot of people will expect from a game that is supposed to not only bring us together, but to also give us a lot of fun and excitement, things to cheer about. And so for Kumasi Asante Kotoko to take that position of not wanting to engage in any football activity, any football-related activity organized by the Ghana Football Association, it tells you how deep fans, not only of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, but I guess the fans across board, have accepted the fact that this should not happen again. Now, for it not to happen again, punitive measures will have to be taken. First on everybody's mind is that let's get the culprit or the culprits, as it were. Let's arraign them before court. Let's charge them. And let's see the proper things being done. People have spoken about murder. People have spoken about manslaughter, etc. But you see, for the fan to be convinced that the security agencies are on top of this and will spare no rod, as it were, in correcting some of these things, we would want to see justice. And that is why our brothers and sisters in Kumasi and elsewhere are all crying for justice for Pooley, because Pooley was more of an affable individual who almost always made sure that the fans of Asante Kotoko, his beloved Asante Kotoko, will not only turn up at the stands, but also galvanize them with some of his interviews, his thoughts, his outbursts, his vision for the club. That is what Pooley stood for. But unfortunately, death has laid its icy hands on him. So for fans of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and by and large, fans would want to see some justice.
Right.
Fans would want to see that the correct or the right things are being done. Let's punish the culprit and let us use that as a deterrent.
Right.
For people who would want to go to the stadium with malicious thoughts and intentions in mind. That obviously is not what football is all about. Football is about fun, it's about peace, it's about friendship. But most of it all, it's about the rivalry. Okay. And rivalry has almost always been there. A lot of the fans out there...
But you know, the wheel of justice grinds slowly.
It does.
So definitely,
it does.
You need to be patient.
It will take time.
It will take time.
So
why don't they come bounce back to football?
Well,
what the police takes...
If the FA can give the firm assurances, and those assurances will be accepted by Kumasi Asante Kotoko Football Club.
Okay.
Then we should have some...
So, Prince, let's go straight to the minister with our colleagues there via Zoom, Nana Dakwa, alongside Ampofo Ankrah, exclusively in the office of the newly appointed Minister of Sports and Creation, Kofi Idi Adams, there on your screen. Into more share, I will fear more minister I appointed him for sports. And you want an officer, you need a treating como, you be call ne kutie in summer oka, on a Ampofo Ankrah ne. You take it to a bin area, you bought the Twasono Achrem.
Soccer and what have you. Possibly in recent time, arm wrestling have also joined and winning a lot of laurels, medals for us. So let's look at these ones and put them in category A because they have the potential to win medals at the international level. Then you come to the next category, which have potential to win medals and laurels for you at the continental level. So they will operate at the continental level. And then the rest are just national sports or local level for recreational purposes. Once you pay some eye for those with potential to grow and also get to the continent. So we don't treat all of them the same. So the little we have, we'll see how to invest. Of course, we'll be making savings in some big ticket items or big ticket sporting items also. And that will enable us plus some of these back into the other less financed one, sports after the categorization. So much goes into our soccer, especially our national team. Some of it we can cut back and make some savings. And I believe, like I said, I would keep repeating that we will have engagement with the management, those who manage our sports for us, especially football administration people, the FA, and all other related persons to see where we can cut. And we must all agree that there's a need for cutting. Ghanaian says the team is always giving it for you to manage. We think that ABCD we do not like. So let's sit and see where we can cut and be able to still perform and perform so well. So let's cut from here and put into other areas. When we have grown our sports appropriately, we could get back to supporting the bigger ones that brings so much to us.
Well, I'll be moving into the Black Stars voice, but one key message from President Mahama during the campaign that the youth bought into was the cancellation of the betting tax.
Yeah.
When are we going to see the cancellation on?
Well, we made it very clear that in about 120 days, it's part of 120 days achievement, because that would have been the time we would have been able to present our own budget or policy statement to Parliament for approval. Currently, it's what previous administration presented that we are utilizing. I'm told by the end of February, the president will be in Parliament to address the nation, that's State of the Nation address. Immediately after that, it is the finance minister, on the authority of the president, will present the budget for 2025. And in that budget, we will witness the cancellations of betting tax on the winnings.
So that brings me to mind a question about this very answer you gave. In one of the interviews that you granted, you made a point about the fact that betting taxes will be used for sport development, but it was misconstrued, and people felt that it was the winning, the tax on the winnings you were talking about. So can you clarify that?
We made a promise that the betting tax, as it was called, limited to the winnings, is going to go off, and it's going to go off. But every stake, even if you spend 20 cedi to stake, that 20 cedi that you are staking, there's a tax on it, sure, that the company pays. My argument is that in the sports fund we intend to establish, a percentage of that stake, the tax on the stake, be put in the sports fund purposely for sport.
Right. That's what I clarified.
That's what I'm talking about. Not the winnings.
So we'll bring you all the exclusive to you right there in the office of the newly appointed sports minister. And I'm going to Oka betting a seven or chichi more munti betting whether ye tax if you are ana ye keep it what can simply into the kuchu. Ye did a full interview, we'll bring it to you. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is your sports station. When it comes to sports and entertainment, we are #1. Prince, we just had some teasers from the sports minister, and somebody said Kofi in Badiba Tuni. Kofi is coming to reset Ghana sports. He just had some few lines from him.
Well, I think, in my personal opinion, the initiative is welcome. We all know that there's a lot of content or intent that goes into sports betting in this country across board, especially when we have over 30 million football-loving people in this country. And I underline the statement football-loving, despite the fact that we've had to go to the stadium and somebody has to come back as a dead body. But the involvement of sports betting and the evolvement of sports betting has transcended certain corridors and certain barriers. And so I'm sure that, as Honorable Kofi Adams rightly said in their manifesto, the tax on the winnings, and he did stress on that, is what they are going to look at and try and erase it from there. Because primarily, for every stake that goes into the bet, there's a tax
on it,
a unit on it. So why would you have to, as it were, double tax?
Yeah.
So if he says that in the right thinking of the members who put up the manifesto for the National Democratic Congress, if it is that it is one of the few ways they can use to better the lot of the development of sports in this country, and also to make the betting game as flexible and as easy as possible. One of the few ways they think is to get that tax bit off the winnings, which means that, of course, it will encourage a lot more people to go into the betting. I don't know how to bet, unfortunately, so I don't know how it works. But I am sure that for those of you lovers of sports betting, you clearly will understand what goes into it, the breakdown, as it were, and where the benefits will accrue, if any. And I'm sure that a lot of benefits will accrue to it. But he said the road running. He's met with the Ghana Football Association. I am praying, and it is my hope.
With the absence of the president.
With the absence of the president.
Yeah, but there's
an effort has been made.
Yeah.
I would want that same effort from the sports minister, sports and recreation minister, to touch the other federations.
To meet all the federations as well.
I'm coming. To touch the other federations. You realize that at some point he was talking about the categorization of the federations.
Right.
And he used weightlifting as an example because they go out there, they bring the medals, etc., etc. I want it to touch some of the other federations. We just had good news from the hockey fraternity. Ghana struck gold at the club championship.
Yeah,
we cannot underrate or underestimate the federations who are doing well with the small resources that they have. I think an encouragement visit from the sports
quick
minister.
one with the hockey. It's like a league club winning the Champions League in Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that the same way we will regard any football team that scores success at the club championship as the CAF Champions League, as we know it, should also be accorded the same respect.
Right.
So the basketballers are making their efforts. The handballers are making their effort. The volleyballers are making their effort. Let us see a little bit of compassion and a soft touch from the minister, just as he has done. And of course, he was told by His Excellency the President that he wishes he will start in the corridors of the GFA. He's done that, but that is only just one bit. What about the other federations? They are all subsidiaries of the National Sports Authority, by extension. So once they are there, and they also put on the red, gold, and green with the black star, we should be able to accord them a certain level of, a certain level of comportment from the minister. I've heard a lot of people say that,
but not equity.
It cannot be equity because obviously others will be graded higher than others. That is why he said we've got category A, category B, category C, etc.
So in your perspective, football is A, boxing is A?
In my perspective, yes.
Yeah.
In my perspective, A. Well, it depends. I would have to, you see, a lot of things go into consideration. You don't just call the sport and give them a category. A lot of things go into. So we'd have to also look into that. But if history is anything to go by, I would humbly suggest that even athletics should be
A. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm going to Prince Anna and Train Commerce Minister Kasa, or say, any team, any sports in Yan, Edibeto, Pampas, where you crow, but Ebibe A, Ebibe B, Obibi Sasa boxing, Mewahi. Please believe a boxing here, a football here, a athletics here, a hockey, also dream will say, I mean, commercial break, the discussion continues. Mo Shaba. Demo Shaba.
Charlie, long
Get money, you forget me. You get money, you
Oh
forget
no,
me.
I can't forget. No, I
Ah,
can't forget you, sir.
Olenge Osi Shaba, you didn't bear there. We will shift our attention to some parents, as we discussed earlier, on MTN FA Cup draw 116 stage. The GFA statistician Mo Shaban will also join us and give us an insight to how St. Kotoko, whether the day scheduled, when is Kotoko returning. If Kotoko doesn't return, it means that secondly 11 wise, Ankrah Kacho, they will be scaling over to the 1/8 stage. But Mo Shaban was part of the draw. And let's quickly look and take his perception about the pairings that we have. Mo, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
My brother.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
How do you see this pairing for 116 stage?
Yes, you look at the pairings for the FA Cup and you look at interesting fixtures, interesting matches ahead. At this stage, Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko are in there, Hearts are also in there. And that makes it interesting because the most successful club in the MTN FA Cup is Hearts. The second most successful club is Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko. And we have these two clubs in there. Again, since 2011, we've had just one Division 1 side winning the FA Cup, and that is FC Nanya in the year 2011. Then we go deep down, doing more analysis about the winners of the FA Cup since 2011 when it returned back. We saw Nanya winning, Mediama has won it twice, New Dibiase, Bechem United have also won the competition. Then Hearts won it back to back. Kumasi Asante Kotoko last won it in 2017 against Hearts at the Ali Mahama Stadium. In 2020-21, it was Hearts final Ashanti Gold. Hearts won in 2021-22. It was same Hearts against Bechem United in the final at the Baba Era Sports Stadium. They went ahead to win it. We saw Dreams FC also winning it against King Faisal, who were relegated in that season, 2022-23. 2023-24, we saw another new champion that has to do with Insuatraman beating Bofa Kwatano, who were also relegated. So, interesting pairings. Now, we look at the teams. We have 8 Premier League teams, 8 Division 1 League teams, telling you that the Division 1 League teams are also putting in more effort, focusing on the Obiani Obia slogan, and then also telling the world that they have something to show. Now, one of the interesting pairings would have to do with, of course, the champions or the most successful club, Hearts Golden Cake. And the Golden Cake are going to host Hearts. Hearts are yet to concede a goal in the FA Cup, and they are playing against Golden Cake, who in the Zone 3, they've not been the best side, but they've given out some best performance in their performance so far. So, of course, they are not part of the top 4, but in terms of performance, they are up there, and now they will give a very stiff opposition to Hearts, having looked at Home Stars, who at a point were doing well in Zone 3, but lost to Hearts by 3-0. And then Hearts played against a Division 2 side as well, sailing through to the round of 32. So, in fact, if you look at the history, it is an advantage for Hearts. Now, 11-wise, who will be facing Kumasi Asante Kotoko? And the last 8 games in all competitions, Kotoko have lost just 1 game. 11-wise sit bottom of the table in Zone 2. And if you look at the current performance of 11-wise, it tells you that they are really struggling. Their last game in the Access Bank Division 1 League, they lost by 4-0 against Sweet All Blacks. And that is not an impressive performance. If you want to play against Kotoko, you need to be defensively sharp, attacking, get more goals and all that. But they are not one of the teams that could give Kotoko a stable position. But I'm looking at history. Since Dr. Prosper Natogum took over Kumasi Asante Kotoko, or since he has taken charge of Kotoko, Kotoko are yet to go past this stage of the competition. In 2021-22, in his debut season when he won the Premier League with Kumasi Asante Kotoko, this was the final stage of the club, the round of 16 of the FA Cup. Then last season, they didn't go past round of 32. This time, he has the opportunity to take the team to the final of the competition. And so it looks like Kotoko, with the quality they have, they stand tall in terms of progressing to the next stage of the competition.
Are we just wishing that Kotoko and Ampofo sail to the grand finale this year round?
It has happened. The last time it happened, it was 2017. And Ampofo Kotoko playing a cup game is something that usually happens when these two teams are giving out their best of performance. If you ask me this question, I will look at the performance of these two teams, comparing it to if they are likely to sail to the final. Asante Kotoko in the FA Cup have had some smooth run, having scored a lot of goals. Their top scorer has been Albert Amua. He is currently injured. They have Kwame Poku, Isaac Menta. These are strikers that could get you goals. Samson Eduku. These are top-most strikers that will be very difficult to stop them when playing a league game. Now, you go to Ampofo. They are also yet to concede a goal in the FA Cup. And if you look at their performance, they actually put teams at their rightful position, like they did to Home Stars. We had Home Stars making a lot of noise prior to the game against Ampofo, and we saw the results of the game. Clearly, if you look at what Abubakar Ouattara is doing, Dr. Prosper Natilgum, let's not forget that if you even pick the league table, it is just 1 point separating Dr. Prosper Natilgum and Abubakar Ouattara, and that is 34-33, just 1 point. You go to the FA Cup, Hearts are scoring more goals, and their opponent, their counterparts, or Asante Kotoko, who are the second most successful club, also scoring more goals. And if you want to win the competition, you just have to be scoring more goals, winning your games hands down. And these two big clubs are doing that, winning their games with ease. You don't have to struggle. You don't need to take the team to penalty shootout. You need to put the team at their rightful position. And Kotoko and Ampofo are doing that. And I wouldn't be surprised if these two clubs sail to the final. But of course, you can't write on the performance of the likes of Mediama Sporting Club, who are also in the competition, Karela United, who are also chasing the competition for the first time in the tournament. Grekum Chelsea are also in there. So there are some big clubs in there. But if you look at the current performance of Ampofo, comparing Abubakar Ouattara's tactical display in the FA Cup, look at their opponents, I can tell you that it will be very difficult for any other opponent to stop these teams in the competition this time around.
Okay. Mo Shaban, gracias, as the Spanish would say. Gracias, danke schön, Mo Shaban. That time will get to you when the games kick off. So quickly on Asante presser with the Ghana Football Association, I hear the supporters are also demanding that DCOP Lydia Donko be punished by the IGP. They face so many issues, and also Ghana Football Association spokesperson for now. We are not returning until all requests regarding the new secure measures are granted, according to Nana Ankrah, Kotoko, IMC chairman, and we'll send it to Kumasi, where he engaged the Ghana Football Association as well, raising some pertinent issues about the death of their fan as well. Prince, according to Kotoko and also for certain measures, when I saw the demand, I know that these are the two big clubs and they want to use their power. Yeah. And it would have been nice if GHALCA had come here for this meeting earlier before the IGP even did. For the GFA, we know they don't value us, but we will force you to respect us whether you like it or not. We'll show you we are Kotoko enhanced. Since friends, they are now trying to bully us with we have the numbers, and according to them, they were expecting the FA to consult them first before even going to Pooley's family, and traditionally, this is what they believe, because they believe they are two big clubs.
Let's keep this on the screen for a while. You remember on our last show we had Kotoko, one of Kotoko's communication members, Nee, in the studio, and Nee spoke about this, the fact that GHALCA or GFA did not come to them initially. you know, and the hullabaloo surrounding that. Now, Nana has also spoken, and Nana says that we will force them to respect us. I'm sure it has its connotation. I don't think that he's talking in the real sense of it. But obviously, they would also want to carry their weight.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the two most glamorous clubs in the country.
True.
But don't forget, out of the 18 league premiership that we are playing, if you take Kotoko and Hearts out, there are 16 more left. Now, feelers I am also getting is that the other 16 clubs are saying that they will not allow Hearts and Kotoko to bully them.
Hey.
So
Interesting times ahead.
interesting times ahead. It's going to be a tussle. But I'm sure Nana Ankrah is also coming from a certain view, a certain angle. And the angle is simple. They have been taken for granted for far too long. And he made mention of it by saying that they do not respect us. You understand?
Meaning?
They've been taken, yes, because to some extent, they believe that things that have happened to Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko, and the way that they have been treated, and Kotoko.
Friends, let me jump onto the phone lines and speak to Frank from Osu. Frank, good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Yeah, what do you have for us?
I'm really enjoying your show.
Thank you.
You guys are doing very well for Mother Ghana. I want to contribute small, please.
Okay.
With regards to the Pooley issue, I mean, seriously, it is a sad news. We were all hurt when we got to know the death of our brother. But I think we are not helping the issue very well. Look, the way the FA is being attacked, seriously, we are talking fair to ourselves. And people are going that far to even attack the president of the FA.
Okay.
I mean, we should be serious in this country. Look, if you ask the real supporters on the ground, they will tell you how this guy, when he gets to some venues, how he disturbs a lot of people. Let's attack those issues. Because if we go this way, if I am there and you come and insult me, you come and tell me anything that I don't like, what will be the next action? We have to take advice from this. The guy is dead. Yes, it is a very painful thing. But let's ask ourselves, what happened? Because we saw a video of this same guy in Legon Stadium. Look at what he was doing. The IMC, what did they do about it when the guy did that? We all sat down and allowed this guy to behave this way. Now he's dead, and look at how you are attacking innocent people. Look, this Pooley guy, if you go to the church, go to VA and ask. They will all tell you who the guy is. May his soul rest in peace. But please, let's look at the issue very well. Let's stop attacking the GFE. But if you say we should cancel it,
okay, Frank.
What about the other players?
Frank, your submission well taken. Well taken. Let's give another person opportunity.
Without playing football.
Okay. So, okay, thank you very much. He made some wild allegations, but we are not part of that allegations. We didn't know how he described the young man that he was a trouble concern. Okay, so Prince.
Well, those are allegations. Yes, I'm glad you used that word, and let it remain as such. I mean, this is not a platform where we are going to banter and argue about who he was and who he wasn't. But mistakes have been done, yes. It has led to somebody losing his life, yes.
So let me go to Kumasi.
Let's move forward.
And have another caller from Kumasi. Good evening, say.
Good evening.
Maybe I have a call there. Now Kumasi to say, yeah, that's so,
sure, we are so mourning. And it's rather unfortunate that we have people like the just ended caller who, instead of consoling with the family and then Kumasi Asante Kotoko, would rather take this tangent. And such are the issues that are going to drag Ghana football. Because if you should tell me Pooley has been misbehaving in areas,
that's why
that matter deserves to die.
We didn't support him. Yeah. Let's ignore him. Let's look at the way forward, my brother.
There's no surprise in that the football is deteriorating, because you always have people coming to defend just because they want to defend. You understand? Just because they want to defend their bosses, they want to defend people, they want to defend the FA. And such people should not be allowed in our game.
Okay.
The guy is just an entertainer. I wonder if the person speaking, if he has ever traveled to a venue
Maybe opinions.
Go to areas like the team. Listen to Agama, listen to Zipro, what he says about this guy. This guy will entertain. These are the sort of styles we are living. We are losing our football. The guy is energizing us. The guy is mobilizing support for the game, and this is what you have to say at his demise. Forget it.
On your screen, you can say.
To talk trust like
no.
Just
sorry.
For us, we are resolute, and then we are on our grounds, and we are not saying they shouldn't play football. They can play football, but we should count Kumasi Asante Kotoko out until we find out issues are resolved, and these proposals we have put in place is where adhere to, and that is what we are doing. We are not holding you people hostage. We are not saying you shouldn't play football. They can go ahead and play without it. After they will tell you who is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They've not known our value in the game, and this was the right time that we are putting things in place, and that is exactly where I'll stand. So let no
Thank you very much. There's a special documentary on Pooley that will be premiering on Wednesday. So all the heads are saying that we are mourning the dead, but so let's have a teaser of what will be premiered on Wednesday.
I do October bomb man so yan che no oba no won wo da wonim se dia wo tienti we hunu wo bi ba wonim se wo de onye nipa e be jitum pa sa ye nine pa no mo bopo na to da dansa na bole ni be
yam pesa ablantia no se 18 jersey na o se white 18 jersey the black na atro e woni chi no yam pe no me sram wan benfo omo nche no
na ya fami ya froko na di dia me bia di wa na ya fami ya froko na di dia me bia di
bisi me je mi twa mi kuno mitia mi twa mi kunu wakra mi anopa mi kunu wakra mi
tisi ara me de chena makunu no e de pa na nso chamafo omo ya fa ho de ai de ama me makunu keke
dia enam no so awo no bae no ya mpanish no na ya asem da ho ema obi ama obi ko stadium a.
So let's go to Kumasi for the full documentary. Come Wednesday, you need to stand by. Kumasi, good evening.
Good evening.
Udi.
I'm Imano from Kumasi.
Ima, what do you have for us this evening?
Okay. So I want to talk about all these days. You know, this is a disgrace to Ghana football.
Right.
We shouldn't tolerate this act because how can a policeman be there and this thing happen? So we need to blame Kotoko, the GFA president, for not providing tight security at our stadium. It's very bad. It's very bad. So you need to make sure that person who did that face the law. You don't tolerate such acts at all.
Okay. Rather unfortunate, time is fast spent. Come Thursday, there'll be daily is tomorrow, and Thursday there'll be a full documentary and other interviews. So stay put. Prince, just short one for Great Olympics.
Well, short one for Great Olympics. Well, they're not in the MTN FA Cup, that's for sure. Their last match out, they drew 1-1. It was a very tough encounter against King's Palace in Akosombo. They are now second on the table, but it looks like it's a 5.6 point difference. And they would have to do a lot of catch-up. They've got interesting matches coming up. Kwao United is around the corner. So there's a lot more to expect from the Wonder Club.
So it's a Tuesday, and definitely more to come when it comes to sports. This is the station. So stay put. And as I said, special documentary coming up on Pooley. And we say au revoir, goodbye. For all those who contributed and those who watched, we say fare thee well to the man Pooley. Wherever his spirit were, that is where we say, de vie Pooley. Bye-bye.